All right, I think this thing is on. Let me make sure that the stream is happening. See the stream health going. So, all right, this is What's Up Dave. This is my daily stream where I catch up with my friends on the internet and talk about what's on my mind and bore a lot of people with the goings on in my life. All right. I'm trying a different microphone today, the Lavalier mic. Because I realized I have a whole bunch of, I have this new audio thingy that provides more gain into the mixing board. So I might be able to use this microphone again and still have it at a comfortable loudness level. But what's up today? It's Thursday, it's almost 5:30 p.m. This ends approximately a 24-hour period of me doing mostly social things, which started yesterday at 4 p.m. and ended today at 3 p.m. when my friend Carl was over visiting, and we had lunch at a Japanese restaurant. And then right afterwards, like, I was just kind of, my mind went blank, and I wasn't sure what I was going to do at that point. So this is a good time to capture that feeling of kind of being in this weird kind of fuzzy post-social phase and seeing what I can do with it. The first thing I think I will do is just review what happened in the past 24 hours. And fortunately, I have this thing where I wrote everything down on it so I can review it. And at the end of this, we'll go into a general review of the week. I feel that I haven't gotten a lot done this week. And so I think we're doing the review now instead of waiting until on Monday. It might give me, one, a chance to catch up on Friday. And secondly, it might help me get my head back into whatever space it was in before. So let's take a look at that. Let me switch to the other camera for now. And exciting thing is I put this lamp up here on the cart. The cart keeps gathering more stuff and becoming more, I guess, into this sort of I was saying it resembled Howl's Moving Castle, with all the appendages and stuff stuck to it. All right, let's bring this camera down. Well, the upside of this is like I have a little bit more light now, so I can put down here, so it won't be as dark in the evenings when I'm looking at this. So what did happen yesterday? My social time began, let's go to split view, why not? So my social time yesterday began with, I went to Starbucks at 3. No, I went to the Sid studio at 3 o'clock. Sid is my photographer friend who has, his studio space has been reconfigured recently. So I was going over there to check it out and like see how he's been doing. It's been a while since we've done any projects together, so I'm hoping to do a few streams from there sometime now that his space is all cleaned up. That'll be a nice change of pace. Not sure we'll be able to do them live because of the internet situation there, but certainly we can record and upload. So I was at Sid's for about an hour, then went to Starbucks, did some writing, ran into another friend, then at 6 p.m. there was a group meeting, which I went to go to this transgender support group where a bunch of people who are non-binary, transgender, there's some third term I think I'm forgetting. But anyway, I've been going to this and it's been very interesting. I am currently identifying tentatively as non-binary, meaning that I'm neither identifying 100% male or 100% female. And it's an interesting identity experiment, if anything. But I've been just trying to be open with this and this, not suppressing certain things. And it's interesting to be with a bunch of people who are going through the same thing. In a way, it's fascinating just because I find identity itself a fascinating topic. But since there's a whole bunch of people, like 20, 30 people at this thing, and then afterwards went to Denny's, because my food goal for the week was to go to Denny's and have a club sandwich. And I've been waiting since, for like 10 days to go to Denny's. So I went there and I was a little disappointed. The carbs weren't quite worth the anticipated taste explosion, I suppose. It was an okay club sandwich, but it wasn't an amazing club sandwich. So I'm feeling kind of grouchy about that. So then I got home around 11 and then slept until 11 today. And then had lunch. hung out until about 3 p.m. and that brings me to 3 to 5 p.m., which I checked emails, and I realized I was just kind of really socially exhausted. And then just kind of like chilled out until now, which is 5:30 p.m. So I'll make a note of this. 5:30, let's say we start the stream here. So I don't know. One thing I've noticed about myself is that when I am out, like I'm a pretty introverted person. When I'm out and dealing with other people, interacting with them, talking to them, even if it's something as mild as like going to the grocery store or ordering something from someone, the amount of time I'm spending interacting with people, I think puts me into a kind of high stress or high processing mode, because I'm processing, how they're talking to me, what they're thinking about me, what I'm thinking about them. And it's not a particularly relaxing state of mind to be in. It's just the way that I am. I just process things a lot. And maybe this is I think a trait generally of introverted people. But it's mentally taxing. And I find that for every 30 minutes of this type of interaction with people, there's like a 6 to 8 time recovery period. So if I talk for let's say half an hour with people, then there is a 8 times 0.5 4-hour recovery period afterwards. I'm not sure if it plateaus at a certain point. There might be a maximum recovery time of maybe 4 hours, but I do know there's at least a downtime period of like 2 to 4 p.m., which is just hard for me to focus. And it's probably just because I'm mentally exhausted. I used to think it was because I didn't like people, but apparently I do like people. It's just that I process conversations and interactions a lot. And by process, I mean that I'm not sure I'm exactly thinking about them, but it's kind of like running a mental marathon, I guess you could say. The brain is racing, like it's processing all these mental cues, emotional cues, remembering things, trying to relate to what the other person is saying, trying to relate it to what I'm thinking or where I am. A good way of describing this is when I was in grad school, there used to be a teacher, Bob, there, who, when he saw me in the hallway, like one of his things he would ask the students was, "Hey, what's the good word?" And I was the only student who would stop and think of what is the good word, and I would sort of freeze and think about it for several seconds. And he caught onto this and he started just baiting me with this. Well, maybe he wasn't baiting me, but he would just say, "Hey, Dave, what's the good word?" And he'd just stop and watch. And as I was thinking, well, what is the good word? Is the good word this, or is the good word that? Or most people would say, "That's great. How are you?" And then move on and get on with their life. They wouldn't stop everything and process it and figure out what the good word was, which is what I would do. So, that's maybe a good capsule example of like how my brain works in social situations. So, so if that's the recovery period, let's say the recovery period is a minimum of like 2 to 4 hours, let's say. Let's go off of that assumption. That means if I start at 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 p.m., my brain might start feeling normal. I did fall asleep around 4, I think. At least I think I did. I'm not sure. I was lying on the couch and I don't remember what happened. Other than the cat was on my lap, on my stomach as I was lying there. And then later on, the cat was not. And I don't remember when the cat got off of it, so I'm assuming I fell asleep. Anyway, because I know it's just weird. So let me move on to the second thing. By talking this all out, I'm trying to regain my thread of consciousness. I think I somehow lost the stream here. Is it still going? No, I guess it is. I haven't dropped any frames though, that's good. So let's do this week review and see what I did, because I suspect that this was not a productive week. So I'm looking at this. Monday, no, November 29, Friday, December 1. All right, So I don't think I got a lot done this week. Like I can't point to any projects that got done. It doesn't feel like I've built anything. So maybe that's where this feeling is coming from. But let's look at this and see what did happen. So according to this, on Monday, I got the cat checkup. That was a big deal. Did it produce anything profitable? No. Did it cost me money? Yes. Is the cat okay? Yes. Let's call that an even thing. Caught up with Discord chat. That's social maintenance. That's very important. I will regard it as a win. I did get some writing done for 30 minutes at Starbucks. I set up the sound system. Okay, I'm gonna open up a window over here. So I'm looking at this is Unclutterer. So I'm gonna write down what I got done this week. Let me put this on the side here. What did I get done this week? Review what got done this week. Set up sound system. Oh, what else got done this week? I started defining what my job was. So let's do that. Defining what my job is. And then on the next day, on Tuesday, you can see by all these swirly things, I was pretty unfocused that day. I set up the Mac Mini, I moved the workstation. I wrote the job description. I did a lot of reflection on that. That was Tuesday. That seems like a week ago. And then there was the whole clotted cream butter thing. I'm just reflecting that. It seems like this week, this seems to me like this was like a long time ago, but it was only like the day before yesterday. And I have this expectation that I have somehow created some giant project or did something huge. So, but anyway, let me see. So I define my job is, that was the beginning of it. Define what my job is, beginning thoughts. I set up the sound system, Mac Mini to big TV. Some additional thoughts were how to reintroduce design services, coordinating, or let's say collaborating. Then on Wednesday, which was yesterday, this is one of our habits. That was cats. No, that was like just poop and stuff. That yesterday, up until now, it was just all socializing, reconnecting with people. And that takes up Thursday, so let me take a look at this again. Alright, so if I look at this, the past 4 days, this was a lot of work moving things around. That was about 4 to 6 hours of rewiring, reconnecting, moving systems around. Is that a plus? This is related. This is, I would say, plus to the living room cafe, which is related to one of my goals of having a co-working space. Defining what my job is, the beginning thoughts. I would say this is plus career and motivation. How to reintroduce design services and collaborating with people. That's another was for career and motivation. I think the key insight in socializing, this is just like community building. This is like some community building, and it was also personal personal exploration, identity work. Identity work is important to me. So, how do I feel about this? Looking at what I got done now, I'm thinking that it's not so bad. But what does feel bad is not having done anything on the difficult work list. And by the difficult work list, I mean things like working on Amazon listings, developing software. Let me write down what didn't get done. And that's the stuff I'm trying to motivate on. That's why I'm writing this job description and stuff in the first place. So if I go like, what didn't happen? What didn't happen? Nothing tangible like software development. E-commerce, marketing stuff, videos for Patreon rewards. These are work things that don't feel real because there is no direct personal connection. The whole reason I'm doing this, what my job, doing this whole, is to discover the personal connection and bake it into the job description. You know, one big insight that's come from this week is, you know, I want to work with people. And I don't like working by myself. And apparently can't for these chore type projects. So I need to bake that into the job description as well. Okay. All right. So I think I've somehow forced an important distillation of what I need to work on. I'm looking at my planning sheet. Did do the lunch with Carl. Didn't work on the job description. I could say that I actually did do that, but let me write that up. And I'm gonna make a blog post out of it. But let me say I'm going to spend 30 minutes on, and then I'm going to try to spend 15 minutes on these other two things, which are concrete things. That's the rate sheet, that's related to how to reintroduce my design services. And then the other one is the diagram, which is this thing. This is the major projects and connection points diagram I made back in October 17th, from the looks of it. And I think this is important for the job thing. But I want to close this off and see if that will give me some context for doing, you know, the chore work, which I need to do this because it's part of the plan to have a self-sustaining daily routine. And I've been trying to solve this problem for a long time. I was talking to Carl about it earlier today, and he had an interesting observation that it seems that I'm always looking for, how did he put it? Let me just paraphrase how I remember it. That I was always looking for something that, and they were in the abstract and not providing details. And how would I be sure that I would even be happy with that? It wasn't quite what he said, but it's kind of, sort of in the ballpark of what I remember. You know, so I guess I do know what I should be doing, and I do know that what I should be doing, like, it's basically building this development part. Oh, I remember what he said now. whether or not I could imagine like what my ideal day was, and I can imagine my ideal day was because I'm already doing it. I'm able to indulge in my own thoughts and share them and write them up, and create cool things. Where I'm frustrated though is I'm not making enough cool things, because I'm putting everything else off to try to build this whole business aspect of things to ensure that I'm not in the poorhouse in 10 years. And I'm finding this very difficult. I'm finding it very challenging in ways I didn't expect. Like, I like to think that I'm a person of good character and I can do what I say I do. I don't make promises lightly. But it's a little disturbing that I'm able to follow through all these business things, which are clearly beneficial to me, but still not be motivated to do them. You know, as Carl pointed out, a lot of people go through this kind of thing. And that's a comforting insight, but it doesn't help me particularly get past this point. So figuring out the way to get past the point is the next step after having the insight. So we'll see how that goes. It was a good conversation. It's helped, like, I think, fill in a few gaps that I wasn't really paying attention to before. But I'm going to wrap this up now. It's 20 minutes, kind of an introspective, what's up, Dave? This is what's on my mind. Tomorrow, something completely different will be on my mind. What I'm thinking about doing yet tomorrow is going down to IKEA around 10 in the morning. I think they open at 10, so I can leave here around, let's say, 9. The closest IKEA is in Stoughton, Massachusetts, and so it's about an hour drive from here. And so that will be exhausting, but I can try to find something that will fit in that corner over there. And that'll go a long way toward helping finalize this space. And I can feel good about that going into Christmas. So anyway, that's today's What's Up, Dave? Sorry there's no interesting show and tell. I'm going to try to do some of that thinking work and try to get my mind off of it, and hopefully have some clarity after that to actually start hitting the marketing stuff. I have some notions that will come out of the job description work that might help, but I'll talk about that next time, hopefully. So thanks for watching. Hope you're having a good Thursday, and I'll talk to you later. Doot, doot, doot. Wait in 10 seconds. 10 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.